went with SCORE International.
And SCORE stands for Serving Christ our Redeemer Everywhere.
Well, the trip was a really wonderful experience. Not only were we able to go to a foreign country that none of us had ever experienced, but we were able to show God's love.
And when we got there, they assigned us a translator, and our translator was Kiko, and Kiko is pretty funny.
And I think if there's only one thing I ever remember about Kiko, is that he hates peanut butter.
And so, of course, we always had to make sure and give him some peanut butter here and there. We did a number of different things. We went out to a couple of different villages and did a VBS and passed out food.
We decided we were going to do Daniel in the Lion's Den. And we had this skit planned out that as we performed it, we had Kiko translate it for us. And we let some of the children be a part of it because we let some of the children pretend to be the lions in the den. The Vacation Bible School was really fun because we got to sing some songs in Spanish.
Yo tengo un amigo que me ama, su nombre es Jesus.
And we got to teach them a couple songs in English.
I have a friend. Who loves me? Who loves me? Who loves me? Who loves me? Who loves me?
And it was pretty fun to watch them sing along with us, and I think they really enjoyed it. And I think my favorite part about the entire trip was just being with the kids in the villages. As soon as you walked into the village, the kids would swarm you, and they'd grab your hands, they'd make you hold them, and they would not leave you alone. They would not let you set them down or let go of their hand. They wanted to be around you, and you just kind of felt completely loved when you're in the villages.
Hola. Hola. ¿Cómo estás? Bien. Toditos somos amigos. Una bulla.
We also went to the orphanage and the daycare.
The orphanage we went to was called Josiah's House, and it was kind of really cool. It kind of really touched my heart because I just really thought they did it in a really interesting, unique way. And one of the biggest problems in the Dominican Republic is a lot of men, after they get their wife or probably girlfriend pregnant, a lot of them leave. The goal of this orphanage is to take young men and to teach them how to be Christian men, how to be Christian fathers, and hopefully that they can set an example and can kind of change the whole country eventually to be fathers for their children, to be husbands for their wives. So the way that they did it is that they had a number of kids, maybe 4 to 8 kids in a house with a set of parents, and so this would be like their family, and they would kind of raise them as part of their family, and then of course they would have other things for kids to do during the day, activities and things. The kids were also sent to a private school, and so I really thought that the orphanage had a really unique look or outlook or plan for how they wanted to affect these young men's lives.
We went to a daycare. When we were told that morning we were supposed to be going to a girls' orphanage that day, but instead we went to this daycare, and every place we went we brought food with us, but at this daycare they had served the kids the last of the food that morning. And our interpreter comes up and tells us this, and we brought them food. So we brought food like just in perfect timing, and like you could just see God's hand in all of it, in the way of guiding us to the daycare and then bringing food to them in their time of need. And all the kids at the daycare were just sweet, and they were all so fascinated with the Americanos. They were loving, and they just were happy to sit on your lap for an hour. Like, they wouldn't care. And they loved playing with your hair. And even though it could have gotten a little bit rough occasionally, but it was still just an amazing thing to experience. All the children on the trip were just so loving and caring and kind and just wanted love.
And we painted one of the some houses in one of the villages.
This really was in some ways my least favorite day and my favorite day. It was my least favorite day because it was very hot and we were painting all day long. And my favorite day because we were working hard, all 6 of us, and we just were able to have a more open and more time with the actual villagers during this time because we were there helping them and working with them. At the very beginning, we were split into 2 different groups. I had Abigail and myself, and Kent was in one group, and the other group was painting another place with the interpreter. And during this time, there were lots of children that would come up and wanted to help us paint. Our interpreter said that once we let one person help us paint, we would have the whole village of kids helping us paint, so we needed to stay away from that. But one of the mothers was there along with some other ladies, and I was able to have a conversation with her. There was a little bit of a language barrier because no hablo español, but I did find out that she knew French, and so we were able to carry on the conversation in French, and that was a blessing to me. She asked us why we were there, and I told her that we were there because we loved them and that we loved God, and we were doing this because of our love for Jesus. And she kind of re-emphasized what our guide had told us about that many of the women, that once they have a child, that their husband or their boyfriend would leave because they did not want to care for financially the child and the mother. And she had 4 different children with 4 different men and didn't have anyone to support her. And so when we were there the day before, actually, in that village, us bringing food was through the work of the church, and us, we were able to help support her.
We went and handed out tracts to random people on the street as we were walking around, and we got to see a bit of the history in the capital, at the same time handing out these flyers to tell of God's love to these random people on the street. We also got to see the interesting pigeons. They would fly up into your hand and just eat out your hand, and some of them even stack on each other. Hiko was very in his own element when he was surrounded by the pigeons.
It was really life-changing, just in the fact that you really see how much you take everything for granted. One night, there was a night called Score Night, and it was basically where you did devotions with the group of Score, which is who we went with. And the guy was talking about how you take everything for granted, like especially like just breathing. You're not gonna wake up every morning going, thanks for letting me take this next breath, God. But if all the air was taken out of the room, you'd be like, God, help me. Like, so I thought that was powerful, but it was just everything in a whole was crazy and something I've never seen before, like with poverty and just the lack of food in different areas.
I really was touched by the lives of the kids there and even just the adults, the families that lived there, the poverty that was there, the different way, different outlook on life, you know, that they had than we do, and you know, hopefully that we were able to bring just a little bit of Christian outlook to their lives and see some of those things.
So we really want to thank the church and their support of us and all the different fundraising that our group did and all the financial support that the church gave us, because it was just so amazing to be able to provide that food for each orphanage, each daycare and each of the 2 vacation Bible schools that we went to.
Hi, my name is Henry Alvarez, but everybody call me Kiko. I'm a SCORE missionary. I started working for SCORE in 1997. I was just like 15, 16 years old. I was in getting guys in the street, steal money, use machete, use knife, get money from the people, rob, and Jesus take me out from the street. Jesus have a mercy. Jesus have a purpose in my life. One of the a crazy time was when we planned to rob a bank about 2 hours from here in different town. So when we set everything to rob the bank, my mom told me I had to do something because I was just 13 years old, and I don't remember what happened that day, but I can't go with my gang guys in the street. So everything was plain. They left. They got the money, the bank. They got everything. But in the afternoon, when they came to the other town, the police just waiting for them because the police from that town called our town, and they just waiting for them in the end to the bridge, and the police shoot all my friends and they kill all my friends. So Jesus saved me from being dead right now, and I was afraid, I was sad, I was confused. So after a month, another thing happened. I was play basketball with my friend, gang guy's friend, and he do something wrong one night before. So when I left 5 minutes later, the other game came and killed my friend from his mom, from his dad, everything. And it was sad. It was crazy. I was confused again. But a lady came to my house and she spoke to me about Jesus. She explained about pain and salvation. I reject her because I just needed my friend back. But later I understand why Jesus, why God put me in that place. And then they invited me to the church. And that night I received Christ. And I received Christ, and He saved me. It was so fight that night in the church because I hear boys like stand up. No, I was shaking, cry. But the good thing is Jesus saved me, and now I'm serving the Lord with SCORE International. We do a lot of things in the field. We do a paint, build churches, build house. We build a bathroom. Many things we do here in Dominican Republic. And then also I have a ministry, basketball ministry. So I do a tournament 2 times in a year. I bring a lot of teams from different places, and then I raise support, and I provide sometimes shoes and the uniform. So in the half of the the game, I presented the gospel. A lot of people came to be saved. A lot of people hear the gospel. That's the important for that ministry. So please pray. You can pray for me, pray for SCORE. You pray for my ministry here in Dominican Republic, and pray for my family.
I would love to go back on the trip again. I'd love to go on another trip to the Dominican Republic, and it'd be awesome if we could even go to the same villages and catch up and see what the village is like, if it's improved or anything like that. I think it would be amazing.
If I were to go back again, which I'd like to, I really would like to learn some more about the culture and to learn some Spanish.
Yes, I would, even though it was really hot and I didn't like that, but
I think it'd be fun to go back and spend some time at Josiah's house. That's one of the places I really liked.
It was a really fun trip, and I definitely want to go back someday.